Thank you so much for having me here today. It really means a lot to me as an HIV positive person that you're giving me a voice to talk to you about the issues that people living with HIV face today. My name's Philip Christopher Baldwin. I'm a 31-year-old gay rights and HIV awareness activist. For many years I worked in the city as a lawyer, and towards sort of during 2013 I told my work about my HIV status, and that sort of, my work ultimately was supportive, but that initiated a process of me talking more openly about being HIV positive. In May, I hosted an event all about women and HIV in Parliament. There are about 35,000 women living with HIV in the UK, and in lots of ways they're the silent face of HIV. A lot of women living with HIV in the UK, they're first diagnosed during pregnancy, and there can be this misconception that they've somehow brought HIV into the home. Shockingly, there was a study at Homerton Hospital in 2012, and it turns out in this one study they found that 52% of the participants in it had been the victims of intimate partner violence. At the beginning of October, I hosted an event at the Conservative Party conference, which was all about decriminalisation of LGBT people globally. Shockingly, there are still 77 countries where it's illegal to be gay. World AIDS Day is a really important day. As I said earlier, it's one of remembrance. It's about remembering those people who have died of AIDS, but it's also about hope. And I think that's one of the most important aspects of my messaging, is that, I am happy, healthy and positive. So I was diagnosed as HIV positive in January 2010 when I was 24 years old. I just started working as a lawyer in the city. I started working at White & Case in August 2009. I felt like I had my entire life ahead of me. It felt like the culmination of so many years of studying. And I went to the HIV clinic over my lunch break at work, and within half an hour, the nurse took me into a waiting room. She sat down opposite me. It was January 2010. The room was darkened with afternoon shadows, and she broke the news to me that I was HIV positive, and it was an absolute shock. I found within the gay community, the response to my HIV responses were quite mixed. A lot of people were actually very supportive. They knew other people who were HIV positive. They introduced me to them. I started getting involved with charities like the Terence Higgins Trust. If you don't talk about things with the people around you, we can all get prone to subjectivities. And I was so frightened. And when I finally told my work about my HIV, it was a massive sense of relief. Something that really helped is that I took my mum to see my HIV specialist, and he really reassured her. So I have nothing but praise for the NHS. I think we have a really great NHS in the UK, and I've had really great support from my doctors. I started going to church services and really just, trying to learn more about Christianity. I love the sense of large-scale communal worship, and I then tried a series of churches along the Strand. I think I really found my spiritual home in 2014 when I found St John's in Waterloo, which is just around the corner from here. There are over 100,000 people living with HIV in the UK. 17,000 of those are undiagnosed. Really, I would encourage anyone, if you do have any uncertainty regarding your HIV status, go and get tested. I think anyone who's had a casual partner within the last year should get an HIV test, and if test negative and you end any doubts, test positive and you can start treatment and remain healthy.